Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Earth is Ghetto podcast. I am Sid, and this is my amazing co-host, Erin.
Hello, everyone. It is Aaron, your favorite Bush Queen, giving you all the tea and all the shade. Yes, welcome back to yet another episode of Dragon Ball Z. We are here with more mess. This past week has been a week of more homophobia. I
Yeah,
think topics have to do with homophobia, so that's awesome.
fun.
Um, but yeah, mental health. You
I doing the best I can. Doing the best I
Now
can with what I got. Thank you, Mariah Carey. That's that's
that's
that's
all we
about it.
that's all we can do until the world ends in a few weeks because
If only. I feel like there's, if anything, um, the lucky ones are the ones that get to die. I'm sorry. That's really dark, but
I am here for that because no more suffering. You're lucky that that's why when it comes to sudden death and it just doesn't really scare me like that because I'm not going to know when I die because it's going to happen so quick. Just like I don't know what time I fall asleep at night. I just know that I went to sleep.
I feel like the only qualms that I have with death, if anything, is feeling like I haven't done what I didn't do what I wanted. Because I'm not really into that whole like you're meant to be here and blah blah blah. You get here, you decide if you're gonna do something to make yourself happy or you're gonna do something to make other people happy. That's literally what happens. And being that I've decided to do what I want, I think the only thing that I'm scared of is not being able to fulfill that. Because your grave doesn't have a bunk bed, you do that shit by yourself. So at the end of the day, I think that's the only thing I'm really afraid of. But as far as that terribly dark statement, it just feels like the lucky ones are the ones that don't have to go through the bullshit.
You're at peace finally. You're not in a constant state of survival. Like
Like, that doesn't sound
we
terrible.
we were put on this earth to serve God and to worship Him and be servants of the Lord.
Why are we gonna worship such a shitty caretaker? He doesn't give a fuck about us. Like this man is like a kid with an ant box. He's like, oops, I spilled my drink. Floods all over the Middle East. He just doesn't give a fuck. So it's just like, if you don't give a fuck, why should I give a fuck? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't mean to be so dark. People are gonna be like, Sydney, Jesus. But it's just how I'm feeling at the moment.
You already know how I get down when it comes to people be like, "Oh my God, Aaron, why would you say that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
girl,
I
I
think they're used to me being like, but and I'm just like, well,
they used to the balance of it all. Like, oh, but you know that let's like, no,
well,
fuck that.
maybe we could survive if we do this. And I'm just like, it'd be
Mhm.
nice.
You know,
It may not happen like that. And if it doesn't, and I die, shed no
I'm
tears for me, Argentina, is what I'm saying. Like, I'll be okay if I'm no longer on this earth. Like, I promise you, there's not going to be like fighting to get back to reality. Like, that's not what
fighting,
I'm doing.
fighting to get back to the matrix. I'm not going to stop it. If an 18-wheeler is coming my way and there's nothing I can do about it, then it just is.
I mean, I think I'm at the point where it's like, I've just made my peace. Let's put it like that. I've made my peace with whatever happens next. And all I'm going to ask is that it's not too painful. Like that's really all I got right now. That sounds so sad. People who listen to the show like, damn, Sydney, what the fuck happened to you this week? But just life, nigga, life. Anyway, that was
We,
a little too revealing. But let's get into our first topic.
yes, on the brighter note, the orange Cheeto has been um let me pull up this article.
Yeah.
Now, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but we know how this how big of a joke this
Wait,
country.
before you start on the Debbie Downing, let
Hey,
me
it's
like,
said
yeah.
Trump arrested at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. Trump's mugshot was made public shortly after he left the jail. His former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and others have also surrendered. Former President Donald Trump was arrested at the Fulton County Jail on felony charges in connection with efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia. In a first his 4 indictments this year, Trump had his mugshot taken. It was released shortly after he left the jail. The Fulton County Jail, where Trump was booked, has a history of violence and poor conditions. Good.
Love it. I love this.
District Fannie Willis oversaw the sweeping investigation into racketeering charges against Trump and 18 co-defendants. Many of them, including Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows, have argued.
Yes.
Yeah, this is that got you wet.
That's why I was like, don't ruin it yet. Say the things first so I can enjoy myself. Okay, now go ahead.
Yeah, now to make your pussy back dry again. We know how white supremacy works, and we know how big of a joke this country is. He's still on the presidential bid, even though he was arrested. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put this motherfucker back into the common land. And just not because I know how this shit works. Like we just know, girl. It wouldn't surprise.
I mean, we all know that if Obama had been, which we talk about all the time, how Obama was not like the president that we really wanted. It was the president that we got that just happened to be better than the rest of the slave owners that we had. But if Obama had been arrested, do you think he can still be on the political ticket? Let's be real with ourselves. Listen, Trump's got 3 baby mamas, and this man's got a singular wife and 2 kids. And they were literally putting up pictures of just like trying to like lynch this man, like literally in their cartoons and shit. It's what they really, really wanted. So we all know that Obama couldn't get away with this. Now, upon saying all of that, I'm very glad that Trump got arrested, but just like you said earlier, we all know this is very short-lived. Listen, rub it out to this as we speak now, because next week is going to be a different story. I might as well tell you, because it's not going to be the same. Enjoy
this moment of wetness and while you can.
Yes, that super soaker has a time limit, my love. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It doesn't matter how much okra juice you drink. This is just what's happening right now. Okay, you know that okra juice. Okay, I guess you're right. No, but I also feel like at this point we have to I feel like we really have to kind of get away from the smoke and mirrors of it all. You know, the phantasm of, oh, he's finally arrested and so on and so forth. We kind of have to get away from that, because it's like we're losing sight of the shit that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like severely, I think, especially when you think about Florida and DeSantis and all of the things that are going on. I wonder, do we actually have that in one of our topics, talking about DeSantis and then him throwing out the, making sure that all those Black children got pulled out of class so they could tell them that their bad grades is their fault?
Yeah, the Jacksonville shooting. I put that down.
Oh, Jacksonville shooting. Okay, so that's for the Jacksonville shooting, because there's too many things going on in Florida, people.
Like the Jacksonville shooting, he coming out to the HBCU talking about, I'm sorry that you niggers have to go through this, and we're better than this. And I'm like, girl, you have some nerve bringing your itty bitty lip ass to a bunch of Black folks acting like you give a damn.
For real. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just jump into the Jacksonville shooting, because the only reason I'm even bringing up DeSantis is because we don't have a video for it, but just a little while ago, a few days ago, all of the rules that this anti-woke culture that Desatan has decided to come up with has made it so they actually pulled out elementary school children, told them that their low scores were their fault, and offered them chicken as an incentive to be better. Just so we understand what's going on in Florida before we get to this shooting. Just Keep it in mind. Go ahead.
Wow, he really said, you know what will make the blacks feel better? Give them some fried chicken. That'll shut their
You
coon.
know they love it. It's their favorite thing.
They love it. It's like their kryptonite, you know. It's like,
No, honestly, I feel like white people have orgasms, black people have chicken. That's what happens. That's what we do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. A white gunman who killed 3 black people at a Jacksonville Dollar General store Saturday legally purchased the 2 firearms used in the racially motivated attack. Local law enforcement confirmed. Didn't think they would actually confirm that because, you know, police and white supremacy. Anyways, um, the man identified Sunday as 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palomita. I don't give a fuck if I said his name right. Of Clay County, Florida, on Saturday drove to Edward Waters University, a historically black college, but was refused entry according to the school. He then drove to the nearby store when he opened fire using an AR-15 style rifle. You know, white people love that kind of gun. Inscribed with Nazi signatures on it, authorities said. Police described a methodic rampage that lasts less than 11 minutes and killed Angela Michelle Carr, 52, Anot Joseph Lagore, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, 19, and a Dollar General employee, and Gerald Deshaun Gallion, 29. Uh, yeah, and then Ron DeSantis took his stupid little face ass to the university, talking about thoughts and prayers to the families, and we're going to give the families, we're going to split up $100,000 to the families, to the victims' families. And I'm like, the bare minimum, this is a perfect example of this. And they were booing him, by the way. All the black people were booing him because it was.
Duh.
And then the white people that were at the crowd were clapping for him, of course, because whiteness.
Trump's everything.
And as he was being booed, he was like, "This is disrespectful, and and we can't attack. You shouldn't boo me because of my race." I'm like, so he's trying to use the let's not attack people based off
Are
of
you?
race.
Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're attacking me because of my race after they were just victims of a racial attack.
No critical thinking. I don't think white people can. Do they not know? Do they know how to critically think? I don't think they do.
I mean, to be honest with you, like we obviously have very different versions of critically thinking when it comes to walking through this world between us and white people. They've made that very clear.
They love to use this hate can't drive out hate, only love when it comes to black people being killed. Just like with this whole Montgomery shit, with the chair shit. Oh my God, violence is not the answer. Once again, y'all are so used to just having power and do what the fuck you want to do with no consequences that when it comes back to bite you in the ass, now all of a sudden it's all about love and kumbaya and God wanted like this and all this other shit.
I wonder where that went when during 9/11.
Ooh.
Cause we wasn't preaching no kind of fucking forgiveness. There was no love is love. I heard the most the most Islamophobic rhetoric on regular everyday TV. And y'all got to remember, I'm a little older than some of y'all, okay? So before the first election with George Bush, I was only 16, 17 years old, so I couldn't vote yet. And I saw the bullshit from then. From then. When I'm telling you that people who went to mosques were walking around afraid from 2001, I want to say at least until 2012, and it hasn't stopped. But that's when I was just seeing regular shit happening to people who practice Islam, regular basis, just because of what was going on. So you guys are so anti-love that you'll fuck up anybody that just looks like your attacker. So what is this? That out there. And you know, one thing I will say is that for Angela, Carr, Analt, Laguerre, for Gerald Deshaun Gallion, I hate to add you to the list of victims, that we have to see on a regular basis that look just like us, just walking around, just living your lives. And this is why I tell everyone, do what you want to do right the fuck now. Because you don't know if your last trip to the dollar store is the last trip you'll ever take.
Mm, that's true. Or you don't know if when you're sleeping in your own bed, if that's the last sleep that you will have.
R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. Yeah. So
Moving on to
moving
Miss
on.
Funky Dineva. Take it away.
Oh, Jesus. So Funky. First and foremost, I got a lot to say about the Funky situation. And maybe it's because I'm a woman of a particular age. And Funky is another woman of a particular age. You understand? We are both from Florida. We both know what it was like growing up, and we also know how colorist our circumstances were growing up. Yet for some reason, Funky Dineva has a very, very, very long history of talking cad shit about dark-skinned Black women. I'm sorry, I still haven't gotten over the Basketball Wives debacle, where he got up on his platform and said, OG is just ugly and y'all can't get over it.
Mm.
OG is just ugly. OG could be your sister. OG could be your mama. So you calling your mama ugly? And this is the biggest issue that I'm having right now, and it's the same issue that I'm having with the Lizzo situation, right? For whatever reason, whenever we see people who are behaving badly, really badly, the shit gets very anti-Black and the shit gets very fat phobic in defense of the anti-Blackness and fat phobia that they are perpetuating. That doesn't make any sense. I don't see why we are so concerned with comparing him to roaches and gorillas. And I feel like the best read that we had physically that I heard about him that wasn't about his skin tone was the fact that Chloe Bailey could bend over and pull back both cheeks, and what she has in between there look better than you, Funky. That was the only thing that I saw. I had to chuckle a little bit. But the issue that I'm having is that it's worrisome for the knee-jerk reaction to be anti-Blackness. Because you talking about people who are my skin tone, who are your skin tone, who are like, who else you talk about?
I have no desire to call a Black person ugly in general, because how often do we hear, oh, well, Jay-Z is ugly? And then when I ask, well, why is Jay-Z ugly? Well, he's just got a big ass nose. He got big lips, nose too big. And
So his
once again,
African features?
his African features. So you can't tell me anything that makes a Black person ugly without bringing up their African features. Again, anti-Blackness and Black people doing it. And this is how white supremacy works, because we only see beauty as whiteness, Eurocentric beauty standards. If you go on Google Images and type in beautiful man, beautiful woman, you will see nothing but white people. And if you do see a Black person, they're very light skinned and probably did something to their features.
Just saying.
I'm not interested in calling dark skinned men and dark skinned women ugly. I'm just not doing it.
Or doing the same thing with Lizzo, who is being accused of fat phobia, and now you want to call this bitch the fat emoji, the shit emoji again. It's lazy reads. It's such lazy reads. Do you actually want to read the actual situation that's going on? Is the only thing you can come up with is they fat, dark, and ugly? That's all you got? So you watch The Color Purple one time and you got your whole roster of fucking insults like already ingrained in your system? Come on.
And
Do
it's funny.
better.
It's funny because instead of focusing on the serious, like the sexual assault and shit that's going on, we're more focused on her fatness once again. So y'all are not serious people.
No, at all. At all. And by the way, Lizzo, baby, this is coming from the softest part of my heart. Stop talking.
Please.
Stop talking. Stop talking about, well, if you were so offended the first time going to the strip club where I told you allegedly to eat a banana out of that woman's vagina, why did you go back a few days later if it was so uncomfortable for you? Huh? Okay, victim blamer. Wow. Didn't know this is where we were headed. That's weird, Lizzo. That's fucking weird. Because don't you think it would be different going to a place that you are not don't feel forced and going into a situation where you feel forced? You don't see the difference? You don't see going by myself and I'm good, going somewhere and being like, eat the banana out of her vagina, and me being like, nah, I'm straight. You don't see the difference between those two situations? Okay, that's what's up. That's cool. Lizzo, stop talking, baby. Stop talking. All right. We are going to try and play this video right quick. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to see if we could actually do this real quick. It's all good. So let's share my screen. Let's see if it'll do what it's supposed to do. You feel me? All right.
You are Miss Happy Ashley from the suburbs. Then you came out, you was being all promiscuous and shit. And then now you're trying to be a gangster. None of it is fucking believable, baby. None of it is believable. And I'm gonna catch a lot of and without that makeup, she ain't cute. You should have never showed up on that camera with that fat ass face without no makeup. She ain't cute. You're not believable. You're so goddamn inauthentic. That's why your shit ain't selling. Okay, that's number one. The young is clearly pregnant. You really wanted to set shit down. All you had to do the next day would be like, child, y'all know y'all need to stop playing. I know the stories about Haley.
Okay, so I'll start here. So, off the assumption that Hallie is pregnant. Okay, so what? Now what? Just get pregnant every day. People are always pregnant. Pregnancy happens, especially if you're dating somebody. Can we collectively agree that we don't like the little boy that she might still be dating? Sure. Okay, but that's still her man, and that's still she's sitting on, assuming. Okay, so if she get pregnant and have a baby, that's her business. Get out her business. Number two, for this to be your commentary to her older sister defending her from a mass amount of comments talking about her is ridiculous, especially at your age. Funky Dineva, you are too old to have this type of visceral anger to a 20-year-old. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? What is the problem? Claudia, for you to sit up there and let them constantly, like Fox Soul has yet to have a conversation that is genuinely worth having. It's just a bunch of old hoes trying to figure out how to.
Okay, so now that we know that works, we just got to do a little bit of editing. Because you didn't hear it the first time. So obviously I was just sitting there in silence for everybody, so it don't make no sense. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and share the video where Funky is talking to all of this types of mess. So give me 1 second. We're gonna share the screen. Okay. Share. Okay, and what else I gotta do? We sharing sound. All right, we're gonna see if this works, child. Let's put it together.
First of all, girl, you were Miss Preppy Ashley from the suburbs. Then you came out, you was being all promiscuous and shit, and then now you trying to be a gangster. None of it is fucking believable, girl. None of it is believable. And I'm probably gonna catch a lot of backlash for this. And without that makeup, she ain't cute. She should have never showed up on that camera with that fat ass face without no makeup. She ain't cute. You're not believable. You're so goddamn inauthentic. That's why your shit ain't selling. All right, that's number one. The girl is clearly pregnant. You really wanted to shut shit down. All you had to do the next day was be like, child, y'all know y'all need to stop playing. Pregnant where? I know the stories about Haley.
Okay, so I'll start here. So, off the assumption that Hallie is pregnant. Okay, so what? Now what? Just get pregnant every day. People are always pregnant. Pregnancy happens, especially if you're dating somebody. Can we collectively agree that we don't like the little boy that she might still be dating? Sure. Okay, but that's still her man, and that's still she's sitting on, assuming. Okay, so if she get pregnant and have a baby, that's her business. Get out her business. Number two,
For this to be your commentary to her older sister defending her from a mass amount of comments talking about her is ridiculous, especially at your age. Funky Dineva, you are too old to have this type of visceral anger to a 20-year-old. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? What is the problem? Claudia, for you to sit up there and let them constantly, like, they get, like, Fox Soul has yet to have a conversation that is genuinely worth having. It's just a bunch of old hoes trying to figure out how to work Zoom and running their mouth all day. They won't even give y'all a studio. I know the check is only decent. It can't be great. I know the check is only decent because they won't get y'all a makeup team, a lighting team, a camera team, a studio, no chairs, no nothing. They said, wake your ass up and log on to the Zoom call 4666122720. They said log on and be on time every morning. I'd be embarrassed to have this mess. Y'all don't facilitate no good conversations. So, but that I don't. But that's just me not fucking with Fox Soul, and I'm throwing y'all crumbs and y'all catching it like y'all do. But for y'all at y'all ages, because I saw that other one over there laughing too, I know y'all are good into y'all 50s. Having this type of conversation towards a 20-year-old, what is wrong with y'all? For all three of y'all to sit up there and to call, and for Funky Dineva to call somebody ugly, and for the other one to laugh, and for Claudia to sit there looking stupid. Ain't nobody claiming not damn three of y'all. Miss Mix, Miss No Name, and Funky Dineva. Ain't nobody ever claimed her publicly, so I don't know what she jumping to call somebody else ugly so quick for. You need to dial that back. Y'all are to everybody over there at Claudia show at Fox Soul, y'all are too old. Y'all too old for this. For this. Fox didn't even give you a show, they give you a podcast. Y'all let Lisa Ray, old, ugly, mean, decrepit, get on there every other week talking about her having good hair. Don't even get me started on that trans conversation that was late. Claudia got to remind everybody she mixed every 5 business days. But now this is too much. This is too much. Y'all are too old for this. Y'all need a nap. Y'all need a nap and a V8 because this is too much. And it's time to wrap Fox Soul and whatever this podcast is up. Y'all are late.
And yo, Hershey, I just want to say, you be giving me so much life, right? Oh my God. If one day you see this, we would love to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
Just want to put that out there because we love you. And this read, awesome. And do you see how Hershey was able to go ahead and read the shit out of them without calling anybody being anti-Black or being anti-fat or being like all of the things? Did you see how that was possible? Y'all are lazy, and I'm sick and tired of the laziness.
It's the same concept of like when cis people, they claim to care about trans people, and as soon as they get upset or mad at the trans person, they call them the T slur and misgender them. Say, well, you, and then say things like, well, she started it, or you put out what you give in, or some shit. I'm like, all right. So deep inside is what it's telling me. It's giving me deep inside. You always felt this way.
You always wanted to call them the F slur. Just today was the day that it happened. Somebody made you mad, and you're like, you know what? I've been having this in the bag, waiting to pull this shit out.
Same for white people. Well, make me mad. That's why I call them a nigger. But like, you call me a cracker, so I can call you a nigger.
Oh, not the same. Oh my God. Like, how long do we have to have this conversation? Not the same.
It's only fair because you call me this, so I get to call you that. It's like, no, this has always been on your spirit.
Yeah, sorry, babe. I only just came up with sour cream cricket. That literally just happened. Y'all's been doing this for a minute, but it's cool. And again, to Funky Dineva, what a disappointment. I used to ride for Funky, real talk. And then the rhetoric got more and more anti-Black. The rhetoric got more and more misogynistic. And hey, Q, I want to let you know right now, The reason they are inviting you on OWN is because you are kissing all of the ass of the men on those shows. And they want somebody that can go ahead and validate them and also make them look worldly. So you're being used as a pawn and as a token by men who ain't shit, misogynistic pieces of shit who ain't shit. And they invite you on the show to humanize them. You're being used as a token and a pawn on a regular basis. I just want to let you know.
Claudia reminds me of like Angela Yee from Breakfast Club. Like y'all would hear the most fucked up shit being said, and y'all just silent, but deadly. And y'all just be kicking like Fox Soul, The Shade Room, The Breakfast Club. All of these motherfucking things are toxic as hell, and it's very dangerous. And I encourage Black LGBTQ folks to stop going on these platforms when they reach out. It's not safe. Stop going to these things.
And not only is it not safe for you, but it's not safe for the community that you represent. You put us under fire when you go onto these platforms. I need you to understand that. You go on these platforms and more Black LGBTQ people don't just get attacked in the comments. That's all. That's all.
But yep, moving on. What's next?
Ciao. Whew. I mean, my God, let's see if we can, I feel like we should play the video first.
Says the video is unavailable, so I guess they took it.
Oh, the video's unavailable. Okay, so, well, I guess we'll have to explain it. I just didn't want to have to use these words because it sounds dirty coming out of anybody's mouth, so I'd rather something else say it than me. Okay. There is, unfortunately, this walking piece of shit on TikTok who is making videos about how to assault toddlers. He's making a video about how he goes to churches. He says during every nap time, there's no adults around and nobody will come while you're doing. There was a video the other day that I saw where it was a man saying that it only matters about a woman's mental intelligence because the Bible doesn't give a specific age for consent.
Oh my God.
And he is defending it, saying that, guess what? I just go by the laws of God. So somebody asked him specifically, would you sleep with a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old child if you thought they were emotionally mature? And he says, I lean on the word. All right. There is a new wave of pedophilia that is raging rampant within our communities. And it is always coming under the badge of a white Christ. I want y'all to be very clear about how those two things are joined up. It's not a crazy connection that this man wants to go to churches to go assault babies. Anybody want to take a stab in the dark to see why maybe assaulting babies in a church is something that doesn't seem so scary for him? Anybody want to take a stab in the dark?
Girl, and yet they swear up and down that LGBTQ people are the main problem. But every time we turn around, it is a straight man who is a Christian. I really don't have much to say about this because I literally don't have words for this. This is just too much.
This was disturbing. I'm actually low-key glad the video is not available because, to be honest with you, hearing it made me want to vomit. Like, I felt physically ill. I was like, where is this goddamn asteroid? Why aren't you here yet? Because if I could go ahead and just die to take that nigga out, I promise you I'd do it all day. Oh, he's gonna go? Take me. Aha. The world would still be a better place because he's not there.
And these are the people that y'all say, oh, well, he too can get saved if he gives his life over to Christ and go to heaven. And you want forgiveness. And you expect me to subscribe to a religion like that, being in heaven with child molesters.
Christians are barbaric, yo. Y'all niggas is so barbaric. I'm sorry. It's not, you guys are not humanitarians. Let's just make sure we put that very clear. You don't care about hunger. You don't care about the poor. You don't care about the starving. You don't care about the marginalized. You guys are some of the most evil people. Like, I will gladly go to the Satanic Temple over you every day of life. I just hope that is very, very clear.
Absolutely.
All right. Next one. I think you picked this one.
Yes. My internet decided it wants to be anti-Black.
Listen, on the earth is ghetto. It's what we fight here on this platform every day. It's okay.
Brazil Supreme Court rules that homophobic slurs are punishable up to 5 years in prison. Brazil is officially a safe space. Well, that's another conversation. Brazil's federal Supreme Court voted 9-1 on Tuesday, August 22nd, that homophobic slurs are punishable on the same level as racist hate speech in the country. The fact that America does not have punishment for racist hate, I'm not surprised by that. Anyways, the decision August 21st in a virtual session and responded to a case brought in 2019 by the Brazilian Association of Lesbians, Gays, Bisexuals, Transgenders, and Intersex. They said transvestites. I don't like saying that word. That's in the conversation.
Yeah.
With this decision by the STF, transphobia and homophobia will be punished with sentences of 2 to 5 years of imprisonment in addition to the payment of a fine. The penalty can be doubled if the crime is committed by 2 or more people. Other hate speech protections already imposed in Brazilian law extend to HIV-positive individuals, according to Pink News. Those found guilty of discriminating against HIV-positive people can face 1 to 4 years in prison. I'm here for that.
I just want to say, America, every day we see in other parts of the world how behind we are. Like, we just got put through like an anti-lynching bill that has been submitted to Congress countlessly over 100 years and still nothing. And in Brazil, they actually have discrimination laws that they're ready to adhere to. I gotta check out Brazil, because that's a very Black ass country. That's a Black ass country. They speak Portuguese, and this is the thing. I'm already trying to get my mind around Spanish. I'm like, damn, Portuguese. Like that's like Spanish and Italian mixed together. Like, I by the way, that's not real. It's what my mind says. I don't know if that's real. In my mind, that's how I put it together. But like, I feel like that's a harder language to learn. But I'm sorry, if you are showing like actual anti-discrimination laws that I can't even get in the country that I grew up in, I feel like we're gonna have to do some research, Aaron.
Yeah, girl, listen, I was just about to tell you, like, and it's even like some juicies, like Juicy Couture's in Brazil. Like, I be seeing some houses and ballroom in Brazil, and they be voguing down, honey, in them streets.
They're big in the community like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Black people in that country. So it's like, I'm like, damn, that may sound like a place we may want to go look at one day and see what's up.
But all America knows is hate. So telling this to Americans, they're gonna be like, oh my God, what about freedom of speech? Because I should be able to call you a faggot. And if I can't call you a faggot or a nigger, then now you're infringing on my rights.
Not the same. And hopefully Brazil's a place where you don't have to argue that. That's how you know if it's actually humanitarian. Like, will you make me beg for my rights as a human being? Because that's what America seems to do on a regular basis. But yeah, we gotta, as the Black queer community collectively, we gotta start thinking about Brazil. I'm just saying.
If this shit bothers you, like if an American hears this and gets bothered by it, that tells me everything I need to know. Because why does it bother you that you can't be able to say nigger or faggot, or you just hate speech in general? Why are you so bothered by that if that was to be a punishable crime in America?
Because they feel like it's taking away their rights to oppress, which they just don't want to say it out loud, that's what you're asking for. You're asking for rights to oppress. That is what you're asking for. And you're saying you won't let me oppress you. I'm saying you can say whatever the fuck you want, but not without consequence. And let me tell you something. I'm saying at the end of the day, you having the freedom of speech does not relieve you of freedom of consequence. Because people don't gotta put up with your shit. You entitled fucking sour cream cricket. Like, wow, this is where we are. All right, cool beans. Yeah, if anybody has an actual problem with that, you need to like really start to look at your friend circle so you know who to kick out. They're not a safe person. Just want to put that out there.
Hmm. Moving on, another Black news: Sha'Carri Richardson wins gold in women's 100 meters at World Athletics Championships. Sha'Carri has Sha'Carri has always been on the winning team. This week, um, Dallas, Texas native Sha'Carri Richardson took home the gold medal for the women's 100-meter finals with her debut at the 2023 World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary, with an astounding 10.65 seconds. Bitch, let me tell you something. I cannot get from here to the kitchen in 10 seconds. It's going to take more than 10 seconds for me to walk my ass to the kitchen. So the fact that she did that shit in 10 seconds.
Yo, and we know Sha'Carri is a part of the community, right? I just want to tell for the other girls, yo, if Sha'Carri Richardson take your phone, are you going to live? Move safely through these streets. You don't know who is a Sha'Carri Richardson, and next thing you know, you upset about what's about to happen to you later. And the reason why I said bullet is because I just want people to know that even though she was running against Jamaicans, Caribbean people are still going up for Sha'Carri. They may be a little bit sad that Jamaican people didn't win, but somebody Black took that shit, and in the bottom of our hearts, we all a little bit of Issa Rae. We rooting for everybody Black. So ain't nobody got an issue with it. And if they do have an issue with it, it's the small minority, and we don't talk to them. We don't even claim them as people. Like real talk, because we know the xenophobia is real, which means that white supremacy got them by the balls. So we not even claiming them anyway.
That's what I'm just happy for her, because I remember when she was going through a lot of shit with the whole weed, and white people were like, oh my God, what she smoked, which means rules are rules, even though white people smoke weed more than anyway.
But worse, even Black people were doing it too. That's what pissed me off. This is why I keep on telling people, Black people are like, especially the older generation, they would be so fucking conservative if it wasn't for racism. Because you see what they said, well, rules are rules. That's that bitch's life over some weed. We're gonna alter her actual life because of some fucking weed. And just for these same people to be cheering her on right now, I just want to say a lot of you motherfuckers was tap dancing on this bitch when she was having issues.
Tap dancing down, talking about rules are rules. Okay, the next time a cop pull you over, you remember what the fuck you said when it comes to these rules are rules type shit.
Rules are rules.
Use that shit.
Ran.
Use that shit against your Black ass when they pull that trigger, and like, you see how that shit works.
Not playing these games.
But
Not
yeah,
playing these games.
Yeah, shout out to her. I'm here for it, period.
Big ups to Sha'Carri Richardson. We love you over here. But by the way, I heard you said some stuff that wasn't too kosher one time. Just so you know, we'll bring you back up here for other shit. Love you, girl.
Wait, what did she say?
That's why I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was like on some, because she's also gay, but I heard she said something that was a little bit off color, but I ain't got all the stuff. I just want to let you know, anybody can get it, people. If we learn new facts, we will bring you back up here to tan that ass with love.
Let me find out. That's some transphobic shit. You already know.
Oh God, let's not. I don't want to claim it. I really like her. Every time.
Now that we said it, it's gonna probably happen.
Don't say that, Sean. We're gonna be back on the next show next week. We're like, we cursed ourselves. No, anyway. Moving on to the next topic. This is another something that you put on there. Homophobia and negativity affects straight people too. Take it away.
Yes. There was, and this happened in California, by the way. So y'all love to say, "Oh, just move to California. It's safe over here." Meanwhile, we still got sundown towns over there. A man who killed a California store owner tore down the pride flag and shouted slurs. A 27-year-old man who fatally shot at a store owner in California had torn down her pride flag and shouted homophobic slurs. She was not queer, by the way. This was a straight woman, an ally. Laura Ann Carlton, 66, who went by Laurie, died at the scene of the shooting on Friday outside her Magpie clothing store in Cedar Glen, an unincorporated community in the mountains roughly 60 miles east of Los Angeles. They identified the shooter as Travis Iguchi. I don't care about, fuck him. I don't care if I got his name right. In a Monday press conference, Iguchi fled on foot, and when he was confronted by officers, he opened fire on them and hit multiple squad cars. Sheriff's deputies fired back and fatally shot him a mile from the store. All of this to say, because he saw the flag. It wasn't gay people. He just saw the fact that it was a flag there, and assumed that since the flag was there, either A, that she was gay, or how dare you accept the existence of a group of people. We can't have that either. And
I feel like some of the rhetoric that was heard after she shot that woman was, I bet she feels so stupid now knowing that they're straight. He doesn't. The man that killed her does not feel that way. You have a connection to them, so that means you are them. So I need you. We used to have a phrase called "nigger lover." Okay, I feel like people need to actually realize like what that phrase actually meant back in the day. And this was for anybody who was non-Black, who stood up or stood with Black people. So just like with the gay agenda, because we coming through to take everything, right? As soon as they see that flag, they're like, you are a part of the problem because you support it. You will support it, you stand up for it, and she died for being an accomplice. No one feels bad. Nobody on that side feels bad that this woman died. Or that she was that, but we need to let everybody know that you being straight does not protect you.
Yep.
That's what this story is for. I need you to understand. Being straight does not protect you. And also, that means that being an actual accomplice means that you are putting your life on the line. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
That is what it entails. And I just want to shout out to that woman's husband. Jesus, whatever grandkids or kids she has and people in the community, apparently like everybody knew and loved this fucking lady. She was like the Betty White of the goddamn neighborhood. Think about shooting Betty White. Bro. Like,
I'm so tired. This is why I always say are we what type is, I know it's like type 1, type 2 civilization. We're not going to get no fucking where. Y'all love to talk about, oh, I love Star Trek and Star Wars, and oh, I could see us. We ain't going to make it there, bitch. We still doing stupid shit like this over based on what we look like and who we decide to sleep with as adults. And you think that we're going to one day reach a Star Trek generation? Get the fuck out my face.
Like, y'all are not so accepting of aliens and people that we can't even be like, you're a different hue. People wigging out. You're not ready. I might as well tell you.
Like, I'm watching all these futuristic shows and shit, and yeah, it's cute, but I know we ain't gonna never get there because of stupid shit like this.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that because that's really where we're at. I feel like, sadly, I hate to bring up the Black women and transphobia conversation, but we just had a Black cisgendered woman die because some white man thought that she was trans. Cisgendered Black woman. So you see how it doesn't make sense for your fuck asses to be transphobic? You can get clocked anyway. It don't matter.
Just like being straight does not protect you, neither does being cis.
Which, by the way, you're cis. God. Suck on it. And maybe if you suck on it, maybe you'll feel better about life. I usually feel better after I suck a dick. Like, damn, get your shit together.
feels good in the mouth and like it's
Exercise the jaw a little bit, you know, get the saliva glands working. Like you'll be okay. Damn. All right. Moving on to the next one. Oh God. Another pocket leprechaun who belongs in jail. What happened now?
the fact that some Black women still support the baby. The same people who support the baby that are Black women be the same ones who are biphobic to say, I can't have no faggot as a man. I need my man to be straight. I can't get a bisexual Black man because you knowing that he sucked dick because I need a real man. Those are the people that still support Tory Lanez and the baby who are Black women.
And love everything that Jess Hilarious says. Y'all are all the same motherfucking people. Go
ahead. Gay adult star was cut from the baby's music video because of his sexuality. A gay adult entertainer named Mustang says he was allegedly cut from the baby's music video due to people on set finding out about his sexuality. Which, by the way, outing people is something that should not be a thing. Like, why the fuck are we outing people? Stop doing that shit. That shit is dangerous. That was very fucked up. But as we say on here, we can walk and chew them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Also shouldn't have, oh, well, Netta, I know that you're gay. We can't have that faggotry on my video. He says, yeah, they definitely cut me from the video because people couldn't congratulate me or applaud, but had to bring attention to my sexuality, which had nothing to do with the video or my performance. So to all the people who went out their way to expose a part of my life that didn't have nothing to do with this project, thank y'all for getting me canceled. Someone said, no one exposed your sexuality. Your Instagram page is a description of your lifestyle. You are not a DL. And then he said, my Instagram page does not say anything about porn whatsoever. It does not have anything on here referring who I am dating or fucking. Please look again. I promote business. That's it. Yeah, like the Shade Room says, what are your thoughts?
Oh God, oh Shade Room. First of all, there are several different aspects that I want to talk about, right? First things first. The fact that people went out of their way to go ahead and call attention to the fact that he wasn't just an adult porn star, but he wasn't a gay adult porn star, because let's be very clear, the baby would not have cared if this man was just a porn star.
Right.
Fucking bitches. Sorry, that would have been like, oh, look at me, I got porn stars on. It would not have been a fucking issue when we all know it. Let's be honest. That's first. But the fact that they went out of their way to say he was a gay adult porn star. See, this is the issue that I'm having. He went ahead and he responded to one of the messages saying, hey, my page doesn't say anything about porn. You didn't get booted out for porn. You got booted out for being gay. Let's make that real clear. You're making it sound like the reason that you got booted from this was because that you were doing porn, and DaBaby, being the homophobic little leprechaun that he is, said you cannot be also dabbling in asshole. That's literally all that happened. Let's be very, very clear. Now, the fact that people decided to go ahead and put him on blast for that, you're nasty and disgusting, and I wish only horrible things for you. That's first. But to the young gentleman, I don't see how you are only talking about the people that put you on blast and not the fact that DaBaby has discriminated against you and had no issue with you being in it until he heard that information. Where is that in your statement?
I'm seeing a lot of pygmishas in the comments talking about, well, how do you know he kicked you out because you're gay and not because of just the fact that you're an adult film entertainer? Like, come on, like, let's not be obtuse here. Like we said, if he was a straight porn star, he wouldn't give a fuck. It's because he's gay. I'm so sick of motherfuckers acting stupid when we see the shit right in front of us. And you went, well, maybe it wasn't because he's gay. It's just because he doesn't want adult film actors in his video. Get the fuck. He has, the women that he has in his videos, I see in porn.
And this is why we say that we have to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time, because there are several different facets of intersectionalities and things and stuff that are going on in this situation. But we also were realizing that right is right and wrong is wrong. The fact that you got kicked off of set, you didn't get kicked off of set for being a sex worker because you're a man. Let's be very clear. If you are a woman and they found out you were a sex worker, I can see them kicking you off. The reason why they kicked you off was because you did gay porn. Period.
Another Pete Misha said, y'all do it the same way y'all have freedom to express yourselves and live in your truth. People also have the right to not agree with it personally and not want it around them. We gotta stop thinking that people just have to be accepting of everything. The next time a white person comes to you and says, get your nigger ass away from me, you remember what the fuck you said. Because you're doing the same shit.
And they'll always be like, it's not the same. Bitch, it's the same. If we're making correlations that you can't dispute, it's the fucking same. Especially since that the same white supremacy that's lobbed at you is lobbed at me. And now we have a new intersectionality of white supremacy that you want to lob at us, which is your homophobia and your transphobia and all your fucking isms. I also feel like it's disgusting that she would say they just don't want it around them and they should have rights to not have it around them. You have a right not to have somebody do porn around you, 100%. Is that what he was doing on set? Out of curiosity. Out of curiosity. Because if he was fucking a man on set and the baby was standing right there, I'd be like, yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. But that's not it wasn't even a porn type. It wasn't even nothing sexual in the video. It's just the fact that, okay, you're a porn star, but you're gay. And I don't want people to think that I associate with gay porn stars because then they're going to think that I'm a part of it.
You don't get to tell me that what I do behind closed doors with my body is something that you disagree with if you're not involved. If I'm not asking you for your genitals to be put somewhere on or in me, then it's not your issue.
Like I said, the same people who are saying, well, not everyone wants that stuff around them. The next time a person says, well, I don't want you around me. You need to go back to where you came from. You're taking over our jobs and all this. You remember what the fuck you said.
Remember that you said they have a right.
Choose. Well, that's my opinion. Okay, well, they have opinions about your black ass as well and still do to this very day.
Anyway, just continuing to call out the BS. That's what we do. Moving on to our last topic of the evening. The nuclear family is BS. Oh gosh. So Aaron and I were talking today because sometimes we would just be randomly calling each other and be like, yo, I had an epiphany, you feel me? And while we were talking, we were realizing how dangerous the nuclear family ideology is to not just Black people, but to Black, brown, and indigenous people just in general. Like how much it's actually destroyed us. I feel like we were also talking about how we feel like the nuclear family has destroyed our sense of community.
Yep, absolutely. Because it's all about, can you be a productive member to society? And it's like, what the fuck are we producing? Because we have more than enough resources. Like, once again, nuclear family and white supremacy, hand in hand. They only give a fuck about the slaves. What can you bring to the cotton field, to the plantation?
To the table.
You're not why don't you want kids? You don't want to have kids and keep the matrix cycle going? What's wrong with you? And they make you think that you're the crazy one for not doing that. When you don't have shit to lose, you stop giving a fuck. And I realized that last night. I don't want to have kids. I don't want a house of my own. I don't want I don't want none of that. This shit that this fake ass illusion that this America's trying to hang on to. I don't want none of that. And when they realize that, they see you as a threat.
And I also feel like, and this is going to sound really harsh, but I feel like a lot of times they push us to have these marriages and to have these children so that we do have something to lose, so that we can continually be stuck in this cycle. Don't you got people to take care of? Don't you got people to feed? What will they do without you? How can you stand up for yourself in the sense if you have people to feed? You can't stand up for yourself right now. You got babies. And it's like when Aaron and I talk about like, man, if only apartment buildings could get together and just like stop paying rent and decide that, you're not going to continue to gouge us. Though we have to take into consideration, a lot of these people got kids. They got mouths to feed. How are they supposed to go ahead and stand up and fight the system and also keep their kid fed and also keep them safe? But when you got people like me and Aaron and a lot of people who are deciding not to have kids, who are deciding that community is so much more important than this romantic coupling that they put on such a pedestal, like we literally use it to insult each other. You ain't got no man. How the fuck can you talk?
Right.
What just happened? Have you ever had a wife? What?
You ain't got no. You only make this much a year, like based on how much money they make, or it's a lot to this shit. But I'm just glad that I don't have any of the anchors. Like I've decided I refuse to have any anchors put on me, because look around you, y'all. Like I'm not doing this shit. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I'm not. You're not gonna make me feel bad for not working in the office cubicle 9 to 5, being a fucking robot. I take 3 days off of work. Why? I'm not doing that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna overwork myself. Well, how you gonna make money, bitch? Bitch, money. What is money? A hypothetical concept that we created.
It's numbers on a screen at this point, guys. Like even when we finally have cash, if we because in England they used to call it a pound note, because it was a note for how much gold it actually signified originally, right? And we were supposed to have this huge treasury that all of this paper money actually signified. That treasury is empty. The paper money that we see, the money that we see on a screen, it is us, the people, that give it the value that it has. And I feel like we are not realizing the power that we have because we have so many anchors. You got people who've got children trying to get out of abusive relationships. Are you really going to tell them, well, guess what? You're not working hard enough to stand up for your rights. They have made it so. We are so desperate. And that's why they tell you, you need to get married and you need to have kids. You need to have these anchors. You need to be afraid to lose something. How can we oppress you if we can't take something from you? And that is where I've really been. And at 36, I've stopped saying never, because I keep saying I'm never gonna do something, and then 5 years later I pop up with a baby like, bitch, you 40. I don't know what happened. We're here now. You know what I mean? So I'm never gonna go ahead and say never, but I'm going to say at this juncture, I do not want my body to be used in that way, because I feel like when you have children and you have, like, somebody told me that having a child is like having a piece of your own heart just floating around in another human body. You will lay down your life for that. So there's a lot of things that you will sacrifice that will be for the greater horror, just to be able to keep your children alive. And I hate that the people and our loved ones can be weaponized against us, but that's why I want us to turn to community so we can really protect these little ones. You got 5 kids and you got 2 parents. Y'all niggas is outnumbered. Tap somebody in. I'm just saying, that's what the uncles, the aunts, the village is supposed to be for. You're supposed to have a village. You're supposed to have a community. You've got people who don't have kids who are just buying houses together. Don't feel like doing it.
That's why they say it takes a village, but once again, America is so stuck on individualism, and it's been deeply ingrained into people. It's like, that's communism. It's like, girl, y'all are so, American propaganda has y'all in a chokehold. Like, y'all really don't know. Like, they know if we come together, it's so much power if we have a hive mind. And they know that. That's why they want the student loans going, even though it's just numbers on the fucking screen. That's when they want to keep the homelessness at where it's at. We have to keep things going. The constant cycle. That's why when we say things like, I don't know, girl. That epiphany, when I called you, girl, you saw how I was freaking out. I was like, girl, what's going on? Is this even real? Am I even talking to you right now?
Because the hierarchy is real. Like, this is what they need us to keep things up, like white supremacy and transphobia and xenophobia and Islamophobia, because God forbid we were to actually get together, we would destroy the 1%. We would redistribute the wealth. There would be no such thing as like the bottom caste and the slave caste and the ones that never have to worry. We would destroy all of that. That is why they can't have us actually feeling empathy for one another. It's why they have to have these blockades. That person is completely different from you. They don't think like you. They don't do anything like you do. And they're trying to take your shit. That's why they keep that rhetoric against through all of us, because even regular white people are being shafted. But they're so blinded by white supremacy and the little tiny things that they benefit from, which are crumbs, people. I just want to let you know the 1% is shafting you like with a baseball bat dipped in glass and a little bit of tar. I just want to let you know. You get fucked too, okay? But they don't realize it because of white supremacy and the few little things that they get. Because on the larger scale, you're being shafted. You're being taken care of. You're being taken advantage of. You are also being oppressed. I know white people gonna love that, but it's true.
We see it every time when they vote against their own interests.
Ooh, and it's like, damn. You'll never stop falling for the okie doke just because of the little tiny things that you feel like you get. Oh, well, that's all. Child,
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in, girl, child. I just wanted to make sure that we got all of that out of the way. Oh, you know what? Honorable mention before we go, Keke Palmer. Keke, as many questions as I have about your relationship, that's really none of my business. I want to Virgo petty. I'm a Pisces, but I want to Virgo petty the way that Keke Palmer Virgo petty, because we're not even just gonna talk about the music video with Usher, because I'm a mother after all. I said Keke.
Yeah.
All right. And then you came out with your 30th birthday pictures where you literally got you got the number 30 on your ass cheek, 3 and 0. Let me tell you something, child. I don't think I've ever seen a prettier 30 in my life. That was a beautiful 30. I was like, yo, if Darius is fucking up, you could tap me in, coach. I just want to let you know, Keke, you ain't got to live like this. I know my place. All right. But then, say again?
You decided to stay with him.
So this, and this is the thing, and Aaron said it last time we talked about Keke Palmer. Aaron said, I am side-eyeing Keke because those are a lot of crazy tweets that man had said. As a reminder, talking about Sterling, he was talking about Philando. There was I can't remember the name of it, damn. But it was a Black man who died by the hands of the police. And basically he said that if he had just stopped resisting, he would have lived.
Mm-hmm. He was saying some very coonish tweets. He was tap dancing and doing the Jim Crow shuffle.
Ooh. It was the Jim Crow shuffle. Like, that nigga was doing the Jim Crow shuffle. And Keke, you are officially with a nigga who was doing the Jim Crow shuffle. So I can't not look at you sideways. As much as I am enjoying the pettiness and also saying, and that nigga still gonna eat my pussy tonight. I love that for you. I do. But that
same nigga said some transphobic shit like a few months ago on Twitter. wasn't even long. It wasn't even like 10 years ago or whatever. Like, oh, that's past the past type shit. No, this was like 3 months ago.
Like, okay, I'm just want to say there's a lot of people that have died by the hands of police in 2020. And it's within these times. It's within these times. So Kiki, as a person who was in those protests and was very loud about being in those protests, I'm looking at you, girl.
And while you all up on what's that TV show? Legendary ballroom culture and type shit, being a judge on there talking about the gag is and using black gay lingo all the fucking time. You are laying up with a man who was homophobic and transphobic. So that's all I got to say. I see you.
And you know what, Kiki? Like, you have to understand how much I admire your petty. Like, I love you for a lot of the things that you're doing right now. But like, I can't not see that something in the milk ain't clean. So
Something for
that's that part. You stupid. Anyway. Oh my goodness. But shout out to Kiki Palmer. Happy birthday, girl. We still looking at you side eye, but you know, happy birthday. But as per usual, thank you so much for tuning in to the Earth is Ghetto podcast. Always remember, being queer is African, and we gonna have Aaron take it out.
Period. You can listen to all of our episodes on all streaming platforms. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That is Aaron8077, AARON8077. And you can follow Sydney on Instagram. Well, what's your Instagram?
At Not Your Magical Negro. That is Not Your Magical, KNEE_GRO. I don't even think I'm gonna change it. I'm sorry. Or of course, follow us at Earth_is_ghetto_.
Yes, period. What else? That's about it, y'all. Thanks for still tuning in, dealing with our raggedy mess. And, that's part of our brand, technical difficulty.
It's what we do. It's why they love us.
And we will see you hoes on the next one. Bye.